We had a lot of topics in developing the application. We had a lot of topics in developing games talking about this shit.
It's just a funny topic today. He's a badass character. He's saying what he's thinking and without any filters. So that's the definition for a badass character, I would say.
The most successful game, I think, definitely in the last years. I don't know if ever, but definitely in the last years was. Welcome back to the Gamers Playground podcast. With me is Stefan aka Bazooka Bird and myself Mick aka Venmick, and today we're talking about why are games not badass anymore. A topic which is very interesting for Asmongold and a lot of other people in the gaming community, but as well for us, so we discuss this today. And before we dive into this topic, we want to discuss a little bit what was going on in our lives. Stefan.
Yeah, welcome guys to our podcast. So the last week, for the weekend, for example, we went to Sand City. So there are there's for example, a hike built from sand. So a lot of nice characters there. It's really nice. We had also a golf car to rent there, and then we could drive. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, and we went to the beach, hiking a little bit at the beach. So that was actually the weekend. Today I want to go to the gym, and I went with my flip-flops. And then I was rejected and have to go back home because they say it's not okay, not possible. In the end, I thought like I should ask why, because for me it doesn't make sense if I lift up some heavy weights with flip-flops or with my sneakers. It doesn't matter in my opinion, but yeah, so I could not train.
And it's not possible to go barefoot?
No,
No?
no,
Okay, strange.
strange, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that was a little bit disappointed, but yeah, I went home, shaved my beard, so in the end I did something. But yeah, that was my week. How was your week?
What about gaming?
Gaming. Yeah, gaming. I finished the new raid in World of Warcraft, the WoW Win, so in normal, and I also finished the first four bosses. So yeah, that's that's pretty nice. And for this week, I tried to clear HC as well, and the next week I will go and clear the mythic.
No, we talk then, yeah.
Yeah.
Other than World of Warcraft, anything played?
Mm, I had like 1 hour in Brawl Stars, but that's it.
Okay.
If I play at the moment, I play World of Warcraft.
Did you unlock the SpongeBob stuff already, or is it paywall?
No, it's most likely paywall, but it was like the how it's called the monthly pass.
Yeah, okay.
So
Battle
yeah,
Pass.
the battle pass, correct? The battle pass. So it's only the event is only going for 30 days, and after that it is a new event. So that's like the process in Brawl Stars. Every 30 days you have a new event, and yeah. But I didn't get any skin because then I had to like save money, which I earned through playing. So I think I could actually get one skin, like one like one rare skin, but yeah, was not I did like the skin. The only one skin was the Mr. Grab. That one was actually nice. No,
But is it a skin or is it a character?
it's a skin.
A skin for a character.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Oh, I thought these are completely new characters.
No, no, that's skins. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So they are here for 30 days and then they go away and you cannot get them anymore.
Yes, maybe you can buy
Just
it. I would have to look on it, but yeah.
okay. Okay. Yeah. That's the only thing I saw about that game,
Yeah,
because they advertised it a little bit more all over the place. Also, I
yeah,
saw it also on X all the time.
yeah. But they
I
did great.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could earn through the event, so like special skills as well for your tank, or if you play like a sniper or something like that. And then you had different kind of after effects after you use your skills. And that was actually quite nice.
Okay. So more pay to win stuff.
No, you could also pay to win that, but I had like for all my classes, I had the end skills.
Okay. You have it
So
already.
yeah, you could also earn it through playing, but yeah, you could also pay and then you had it immediately.
I see. I see. Okay. Yeah. For on my side, I'm still sitting in Tokyo. The weather is getting coldish, I would say. That's a little bit annoying. And it was raining. The past days it was raining all the time, so I couldn't run really. Sometimes I could run, so I only did my morning sport inside the apartment. So that is
Hmm.
a little bit disappointing, because you're also
Yeah,
lacking a little bit of vitamin D then and stuff like that. Because it's raining all the time. So when you go outside, you have to take your umbrella with you and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a little bit annoying. And then you know, and then you recognize how much you like the sun. You know how
yeah,
much when there's the sun again, and then you absorb the sun and you walk in the sunlight, stuff like that. It's so nice. The
yeah,
sun is life. You know.
yeah.
So yeah,
And on our side, it's also raining at the moment. So
it's
our
also
last two
raining.
days, yeah, we had also bad weather in Portugal. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes it's like that. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, it was. I was on a meetup. Yeah,
Hmm.
we had a dinner, meetup, digital nomad dinner. That was pretty cool. We hopped a little bit through small restaurants and small bars there. That was
Cool.
pretty cozy. Because I haven't been there yet, so that was the first time. Um, that was cool. And in gaming, I was doing the World of Warcraft stuff. That was the only thing I played this week. And I took my vault, I think, this morning, and it was I got crap completely through my warrior and through my monk as well. So complete
Yeah,
crap.
really shit.
I got tier shoulders, but the tier shoulders were the Mythic Plus things, so it was only
Hmm.
champion gear. And then I got, I think it was wrists hero. That was the only thing because I got a trinket. The trinket
Yeah,
was completely dog shit. It
yeah,
was a trinket where I can place a trap under me, and when the target runs through it, then it does damage. But it was a useless thing because no stats, nothing.
okay.
So yeah, I went for this, and with my monk, it was dog shit as well. It was only a minor increase in GS, and that's it. Yeah, was nothing special.
Okay.
But I saw a new Dragon Ball is coming out. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, it's called, and it's actually a new Budokai Tenkaichi. I don't know if you played Budokai
Yeah,
Tenkaichi,
yeah,
but it was Budokai Tenkaichi was the best Dragon Ball ever. That was on the PlayStation 2. Um, the best fighting Dragon Ball ever. It was amazing. And now Sparking Zero is coming out, actually tomorrow. And
for
yeah,
PlayStation or for what? Everything?
for I think it's for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC.
Okay.
So I have to look if I'm loading my Steam Deck at the moment. I have to look if the Steam Deck can do
Yeah,
it because it's a new game. It's Unreal Engine
yeah,
5, stuff like that. That's a
yeah.
little bit critical, but if it can do it, I think I will buy it and play it on the
Nice.
weekend. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Perfect.
Then, yeah. Then I would say let's dive right into the topic for today. Why
Let's
are
go.
games not badass anymore? And that is a topic which was discussed also from Asmongold a while ago, and a lot of other streamers and YouTubers as well. And it is a fair question because something changed in the world of these games and storytelling and stuff like that. So we dive a little bit into it and analyze that a little bit without getting too critical or not. We will see. And yeah, what about starting with your first question?
Let's go. So maybe we have to say first what is badass. So my first question will be, what does badass even mean when it comes to games?
Yeah, that's a good question. It can define a lot of things. We can talk about badass characters. We can talk about
Gameplay style.
yeah, right, a badass story, for example, or style or whatever. So it is it can be either one. When you look yeah when you look at games these times, it's a little bit different than the games a couple years before or 10 years before. So I think it's all about it. It can be character story, it can be something else, it can be in different ways defined, you know? So it's not only about you have one badass character in a game and then that's the crazy badass game or something like that. No, that's not about that. It You can still have one badass character, but the story is completely shit and all the other characters are shit, then it's not a badass game at all. So it is a whole thing which should match. Yeah.
Okay, but
What do you
like for
think?
example, how would like a badass character look like? Or
I mean,
interact or something like that.
a badass character is bold and and no bold, not bold, bold. So raw and real, and not only political. He doesn't only say political things, you know, and political correctness and stuff like that. So it's like I don't know, when you think, for example, about a villain, you know, about
Mhm.
a enemy character in a game, for example. Do you think enemy characters speak with each other or speak for themselves like we do here? No, they use bad language, they use swear words, they use all this kind of stuff. So they are rare. They when they approach an enemy, they say, I don't know, fuck you, dick sucker, or something like that. So it's it's really raw, and I think
Yeah.
that's my definition of not only in the evil way all the time, also with the good guys. So it has to be raw and not the big filter in front of it. I think that's the definition for me of a badass character. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? What is badass game for you?
Well, if I have to define a badass character, I would say if you didn't saw it, it's off topic, but the I don't know if he is the government, but like the government from Polish,
Poland, yeah.
Poland. Yeah, he's a badass character. He's saying what he's thinking and without any filters. So
Mm,
that's the definition for a badass character, I would say.
mm,
He's not The badass character is not scared to say anything. He's just doing what he has to do. Something like that, I think. Yeah. And yeah, I think you see it through the game industry. They're always, if you compare it to 10 years ago to now, you see there's a shift. So, but I
mm.
think we will talk through other questions about that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually the big thing, and the president of Poland is, I think, a good example for that. He's unfiltered, and I think unfiltered is a very good definition, or not only a definition. It's one trait of this whole badass thing, that it's unfiltered and not some filter in between.
Yeah,
That's actually a good definition. Yeah.
yeah, maybe also I think the difference, like for example, in the past there was characters you like and you did not like. and that was okay. And now I think they're trying more like you hopefully like everyone and don't have to choose like I like that and I don't like that. I think they will try to like you can be everything.
And you also like the evils, and
Yeah,
most of the evil persons, after they are
yeah,
defeated, they come back to the good side and they're
yeah,
good and something
yeah.
like that. So yeah, I get
Uh,
what you think. Yeah. My question, which I was asking myself as well, was, um, did the audience change? Maybe could that be a reason for the whole change in the gaming industry to go from badass video games to a little bit more softer video games in case of storytelling, character, and stuff like that? So did the audience change? Question mark.
well, it's hard to answer because I don't have the information so far. I will have it in like 1 year maybe. Um, and then I can tell you more about that. But in my opinion, like I did not change. So sometimes I want to play a video game which is maybe not that badass because, for example, I don't know, if you play FIFA, FIFA cannot be badass. FIFA is like you play football, soccer. So that's like a normal game. Yeah,
Oh, you can call it
and
football.
yeah,
You're in Europe.
yeah, Europe football in
USA.
United States soccer. But for example, if you look to World of Warcraft, for example, which was a badass game, where you had like Gul'dan, for example, in Legion, which went completely crazy, or when he created the portal again, where he killed all these, I think it was Draenei.
Yeah. Did all kind of stuff, Draenei and other orcs and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah.
yeah. So like you did see this scene, and you thought like, what the hell? It was like even like so you had this kind of feeling inside,
Yeah.
which that was crazy. Um,
Crazy to do
but
something like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It
but
was something unimaginable. You
yeah,
didn't think about something like this.
yeah,
And then
but
he goes through and drains all the souls from these
yeah,
living beings, and then they die, and he
yeah,
uses the souls to empower
yeah,
the whole portal. That was
yeah,
insane. Yeah.
yeah. That was insane, and but Legion was also, for my opinion, like one of the best add-ons. And if you compare it now, like for
Now
example,
we
you
have
had
Chromie, who talks all the time about her feelings and
yeah, everyone is
stuff like
talking
that,
about his feelings and whatever. But
and relationships,
yeah,
and
it is hard to be like. I think if we
that.
talk today honest, it will be hard to be not critical actually.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
talk honest. We will
yeah,
talk unfiltered. We
yeah,
will talk badass.
yeah. So yeah, for example, in World of Warcraft, there is like in Hollowfall, is it right?
mm.
This one woman,
Area.
which is a commander. She's black.
Ah,
She has one arm only. The
black
only thing,
disabled.
yeah, the only thing which is missing that she's in a wheelchair actually. So,
But we have that with Khadgar. I saw
Khadgar,
Khadgar
what do you
is
mean?
they they what is it called when you they revived Khadgar, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did you saw the story? They
No,
revived Khadgar. Ah, okay. Yeah, maybe
that,
then I don't want to spoil, but
oh, did I miss that? I don't know. For me, he's dead at the moment. But I think,
for you it's
or I
maybe you
think
have to
it.
make the main story quest.
No, I finished it. So maybe there was one sequence where he was with this with the main character, like in the background somewhere. Maybe I missed it. I don't know.
With Alleria or what?
Yeah.
Because it was a scene with Alleria and with the main villain,
Okay.
Xalatath.
I don't have it in front of me, so maybe I have to watch
Okay.
again some scenes. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
then
like yeah, everything is changing. Like you never will have this kind of badass moments.
Mm.
Yeah, the explosion of Dalaran was maybe badass, but even that from the style could be a little bit better.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, when I think about what I thought with this question about the audience, maybe maybe we are not the main target audience anymore of the video games, because we are older. I mean, we are into the work life and stuff like that. Don't have enough time anymore to play all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's a new generation, which is way younger than us, and they have the time to play video games, and probably they are the main target audience they want to reach. And if you look at a lot of a lot of titles in the news, or a lot of, I don't research papers and stuff like that, they say that the testosterone of men in the last, I think in the last 15 years or 20 years, decreased in around 70% or something like that.
Okay.
70, 70.
Hmm. Yeah.
So that is insane. That is
Yes.
insane. So the new generation literally are only soy boys. So I mean, that is the
That
that
will
is
be
the
funny
that is the
video.
reality. No, that
Yeah.
is the reality at the moment.
Yeah,
That is the
sure.
reality, because you have it backed by stats. So the stats tell you as well, because testosterone is a very big thing which changes you. And maybe this is only a reaction of the video game studios to the changed demographics and changed personalities of the people.
Yeah, it is like really hard to tell if you don't have the information because you can only go with your gut feeling.
Mm.
But yeah, I think like we are old. So the industry is changing and maybe also the users are changing. Um, but like if you compare it for example to Asmongold, which has a huge community and most of them say the same thing like Asmongold is saying.
Mm.
So I think maybe the industry is the same and people are want to have badass games.
Mm.
And so I think no, maybe it's only like 1%, but everybody focus on that 1%. I think that's maybe the problem. And maybe also the game industry or the companies, they want to be political correct other than making the things
Making good
which the
video
users
games.
are, yeah, like, yeah. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
but that cannot be the point of them. I mean, then they would be completely. I don't know. The point for them is to making money, and they make money through good games. No, that should be a normal cycle, and I think that's the cycle how you make money in game development.
Yeah, most of the time, yes. But maybe they are funded somehow a little bit.
Mm. Okay, yeah, good. Yeah, that
So
could
we will
that
kick
could be.
into different corrections today.
Yeah, that could definitely be something in the
Yeah.
background. Yeah, but when you look, for example, the most successful game, I think definitely in the last years. I don't know if ever, but definitely in the last years was Elden Ring. Elden
Mhm.
Ring was a badass game, definitely, because there was nothing crazy political moved or something like that, and everything was really, really cool. And it was so successful. Everyone loved it.
Yep.
Girls loved it. Boys loved it. Everyone loved it. So it was an amazing game. So that should be, for all the gaming companies, that should be a very good sign that very good and badass games are working actually. So
Let's
they're
see,
not
maybe there
bad.
will be, yeah, maybe there will come a shift after someone is getting president. And and yeah, let's see.
Yeah. So the audience definitely plays a role, but we also have indications that the target audience for badass games is still very, very big, and probably if you want to make one of the best games in the future, you need them definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
If you're a gamer and you want badass games, give this video a like and write down in the comment that you want badass games, and then Michael and I will create a badass game.
yeah. What is your next question?
Well, you caught already one, but are there current games that embody that badass spirit? And what example
Yeah, I
can you
mean,
name?
one example which launched really recently was Space Marine 2.
Hmm.
I don't know if you saw that game, Warhammer
Nope.
Space Marine 2. Uh, that was definitely a badass game. They had female characters in there as well, which made it not less badass. They can still be badass. No, it's not that a badass game is only a badass game when male characters are in it. It's you can also make female characters very badass. I mean, for example, when you saw Diablo 4, for example, Lilith
Yeah.
is a nice villain, and Lilith
Yeah.
is badass because she does a
Yes.
lot of crazy stuff, and
Correct.
that is badass. So it's not about male or female; it's about how badass do you make the story. So
Yeah. Maybe the one point which the example I made with these black with one arm in World of Warcraft is only that you can see World of Warcraft is political correct. And they're trying to put
yeah,
something in which you see that they're trying to be politically correct. I don't care if there's a black woman in the game, but you see it's
yeah.
politically correct.
The thing is, I think with World of Warcraft, I think Blizzard was going through a big crazy thing with all this drama they had in the company, right?
Yeah,
And now I think they want to be as inclusive as possible and do everything political correct. So we include black people. We include all the people in the world inside the game, and they only had badass things 5 years ago, so they had to cluster everything now in those new expansions and bring all these
yeah,
inclusive things within. I think it's with Blizzard. It's almost the same with us Germans because we are a new generation, but we still suffer from the Second World War because yeah, still everyone thinks, oh, this Nazis, they have to apologize to the Jews and stuff like that. So
yeah,
we still carry this burden.
yeah.
And with Blizzard, they will go through the same shit now, yeah, because of the history now. So they want to apologize through these actions.
Could be possible, yeah. But yeah, come back to the question. So, what kind of badass games do you have?
Yeah. Um, I would include Diablo 4 as well, as I
Hmm.
mentioned. Diablo 4, Space Marine, for example, was a badass game. Elden Ring was definitely a badass game as well. What did I play? What was also badass? Badass game was also Ghost of Tsushima.
Hmm.
That was a badass game for sure, and they included woke stuff as well. So they included no, it's you cannot call it woke stuff. You can call it maybe inclusive stuff or something like that. They included a lesbian or something like that. So some stuff as well. So it was still a badass game. What are you
Okay.
laughing about?
It's just a funny topic today. All right. I would add to that list Wukong. I think that was also a
Mm,
badass game actually. At least the boss fights. The boss
mm.
fights. I would like see it was in the direction of Elden Ring maybe. And Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
This is a badass
Mortal
game.
Kombat for sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
It's maybe a little bit too badass actually, but that's like the game
Yeah,
design,
there's a
yeah.
new Mortal Kombat coming, and I saw a couple videos about it and stuff like that. The finisher moves are insane as
Yeah.
always. They're
fatalities that
crazy.
are crazy. Yeah,
But the thing is, you can find badass games, but a lot of badass games are coming from Asia, from
yeah,
Japan, from China, and stuff like that because they don't have that kind of stuff. They don't have
yeah.
it.
They don't
They
have
don't
these
care.
problems. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they don't care about it. So it's more coming from the Western side. But Diablo is also from Blizzard, and they can make badass characters. Not the complete story is badass, but they can make badass characters.
yeah.
They've proven that. So
Yes,
yeah.
they can, and they will. Hopefully.
No.
All right. What is your next question?
Um, my next question is: will games change in the future back to the whole badass vibe, or was it only a phase or a trend, like a music trend, right? And it will never come back, and it changed forever now, because when you compare it, for example, with music, when we talk to our parents, they were listening to a lot of rock stuff and stuff like that, sort of old school stuff, I would say, and we have a completely different taste. Is it the same with video games as well? Or with you can compare it with fashion, for example, as well. There are certain trends, and some trends are popular at the moment, but when you compare it with fashion, in fashion, some trends are coming back.
I think if you think about like game as a trend, then the game is maybe only a few months there. So, but I think it's more about the game because something is special about the game. But I think, like, for example, the badass is like, it is like a genre. So, for example, I don't know, if I want to play a shooter, I don't want to kill people with a water pistol.
Mm.
So, I want to have a real gun or something like that. So,
You
or
don't want
if
to
you,
play a Splatoon, you want to play a Call of Duty.
yeah, for example. Or even if you think about like World of Warcraft. For example, World of Warcraft, there are like different moments because the story, which we also talked about in the last podcast, is like a character, a character can develop. So,
Mm.
so you have maybe this season, and they did also, for example, this season was, for example, Troll was the leader, then he moved and was for a few add-ons not seen anymore. And then there was a
Mm.
new leader, which was also badass, maybe, or not badass, or Sylvanas was, for example, badass. This kind of moment where it was the cinematic trailer where she went down and killed everybody. That was like badass moment.
Mm.
And so I think it is not a trend. I think it will come back for sure. Maybe now the focus is more on political correctness than really like focus on the user base. Because for example, if you go to the community of World of Warcraft, everyone say it loud what they want. And Blizzard is starting to shift and do what the user base wanted, but they're not like at the end of the line where they should be. So they let them a little bit time. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, I have one question: is this all a political movement, or
I
where
think
does the change come from? You know?
yeah. Well, that's deep shit, but I think yes, because you can compare it to everything else. Everything else is censored, everything else telling a story which is not correct. So you have also to try to manipulate also this industry because this industry is big and it's also easy to create like a fake world where you see a lot of stuff and get manipulated. So I think for myself, yes. And you can see it.
So yeah, I mean, there are obvious reasons. Um, I think you can see the shift every time when there is a new government, because they want to bring down their views to the public and to all the people, and implement those views and I would say stats or something like that, moral. They want to implement that, and they do that through their usual things like media and stuff like that. And now they also included, since a couple years, they also included this in video games. So video games is also one hand of them to implement those kind of morals they wish and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's definitely seeable, and all the trends with all the movements in the world, and yeah, they want to push certain things, certain morals, and you can feel that for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, for
that's
example,
why.
Elon.
Yeah.
Yeah, for example, Elon Musk just said, yeah, in the interview with Tucker, that for example, if you go to ChatGPT, ask which are make a picture of the creators of the United States,
Mm.
and then they're making a black woman's a picture of black women's, which is not correct.
Yeah,
And so everywhere is yeah, they're trying to
there are,
change the story. Yeah,
there are a lot of funny memes out there
yeah,
with that case. For example,
yeah,
make me a picture of two SS officers, Nazis,
yeah,
and then they make black women or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
And this went so far with also with the memes from Netflix. I saw the recent one. The last one I saw was a Netflix movie of Flipper 2. You know Flipper, the
yeah.
dolphin,
The
black
dolphin.
dolphin.
Yeah.
That was so funny, man. Yeah, there is a lot of cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, even this kind of stuff is manipulated. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that is definitely something big studios are listening to, but only the big studios at the moment. So the next question would be, um, do indie games have the potential to bring back the badass games? Because the big budget titles and the the AAA studios, they don't do it. So are indie studios the ones who should or who have to bring it back?
I think in a kind of way, yes, because for example, we also game developers, so we have the potential to make a badass game. We could say, okay, let's make this kind of badass game and let's do it, and then we can create it and publish it. I think the only problem is that there are also maybe some problems which indie game developers will face, and that's like, for example, a lawsuit or something like that, because they didn't, for example, if you can choose between male, female, or other, if you delete the other, there's a potential that you will get a lawsuit if someone is against it. So I don't know, but they're like, people are scared to do things because it is maybe not politically correct, and you can get a lawsuit later on because someone is feels attacked because of that or something like that. So I
Yeah,
think it is, yeah,
lawsuit. Yeah,
yeah. I think the indie game developer can bring the badass games or all kind of games what they want. Um, but there's also always like a kind of like moment where you're maybe a little bit feared about things because you can get the backlash or something like that.
yeah. And that's the whole point. I think it is because indie game studios, they have nothing to lose. Actually, they have nothing to lose. They have no repetition or something like that to lose. AAA studios, they are shitting their pants because they have a lot to lose. They have
Yeah,
a stock price like Ubisoft. and
Yeah.
they're all doing. When you look at Ubisoft, that's ridiculous. They're listening to all this political shitness there, and they do everything in their games to be political correct, and the stock price crashed in the last month more than 50%. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So probably the big AAA studios are anxious as fuck, but they're paying the price now. So they were anxious and they were very, very careful, and that was probably the wrong direction. They are paying the price now, and I think that is actually a very good opportunity for the indie studios, which are making better stories, better games, and pretty simple, very good games and very cool stories. So if they can make that, and if they can fill that gap and that hole at the moment because the AAA studios don't make it, then they can be very successful. Yeah. And then
Yes.
there comes with that there comes the opportunity we discussed a couple podcasts before with AI. So a lot more people can develop their own games. That is actually a very, very good combination. Very good opportunity to develop new games and it's easier for new people, and AAA studios fumbling a lot of games. That is a very good combination for indie studios. Yeah.
Yeah. I have one question.
Yep.
What role do regulation, age ratings, and maybe social expectation play a role in the kind of design of games?
Age rating, I don't know, because most of the games are so much censored these times that they probably are not above 18 anymore. Probably all the games coming out are maximum
12, I
12,
think. Yeah.
or the whole rating system was censored as well, so that a lot of games are not passing the thing for 18 plus anymore. I don't know, but they probably adapted it as well, and it changed definitely. But because when you think back to all these crazy games and badass games, there were moments where you thought for yourself that was a crazy scene, or that was something crazy the character did, that was blew my mind. It was scary or
Yeah.
something like that, and you don't have that these times anymore so often. So when
Yeah.
I think about it, yeah, they probably rank way more games under 18 and 12, 16, stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you think that this movement is like more in a direction of like getting more people into the game so that they can make more money? So they're trying to do not these kind of badass scenes, which are 18 plus or something like that.
Yeah, it can be, as we discussed at the beginning, it can be that the target audience is way younger nowadays, because they see also, maybe it's a money thing as well. I don't know. It can be. Maybe they see that the young people under 13 spend the most money in microtransactions or something like that. I don't know. Could be.
Could be, yeah.
There are all the time the stories about kids limiting the credit cards of mom and dad and paying everything in those kind of games, and these are only the stories which are coming out, the crazy stories with 100K or something like that. And
Yeah.
I bet there are a lot of stories with people where kids are spending $50 or something like that, and you never hear about that because it's not a big story, but there are probably a lot of kids like that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
could be a profitable target group. Yeah. That could definitely be a reason for the cutification of games. Yeah.
For sure, yeah.
What do you think?
Well, I think like especially the age rating is, I think, a bit plays a big role, because if you compare it also to our application Gamers Playground, if we could do it under 18, for example, starting at 14 or something like that, we have a bigger community actually of gamers. So the potential for our application is way higher, potential for subscription, everything else. But in the end, it would be the wrong decision to make for our kind of application. If we say, okay, we focus more on getting as most as possible users into our application. But yeah, so I think age rating is important. And I
It's also a
think,
moral thing, right?
yeah, it's also a
So
moral thing. Yeah.
are you
Do I want
morally
to?
correct to
Yeah.
rip off children and to
Yes.
play with their psychology,
Yeah.
even they're not fully developed, and it's way easier to rip them off? So
Yeah.
it's a moral thing as well.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, also the regulation, you actually don't know what you can do and what not. You have to really make a research that you know will be that maybe a problem. Because maybe you're, for example, also for Elon, maybe Elon cannot how it's called get people into his company who
Hiring.
are like, yeah,
Mm.
you, can you, like, for example, tell the story? Because yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Elon Musk is one of the smartest people in the world, and he himself is confused about all the laws
Yeah.
which are going on because they sued him for not hiring asylum seekers, and on the other side, they are not allowed to hire asylum seekers. So that's a little bit interesting.
Yeah.
So if the smartest person in the world cannot handle that correctly, how should normal
Yeah.
people do that?
Yeah, there will be always like one law which is on your side and another law which is not on your
Yeah.
side, and they are fighting each other, and then you have a problem like, okay, am I right or am I wrong? And I think
Mm.
that makes it difficult for regulations. But yeah, maybe there will be a change.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, do you have another question?
Yeah, I'm at the moment scripting a video for Gamers Playground. I can read you the title, and that's actually something you said before. Will Trump bring back badass games?
I didn't say that. I just say, will someone get president?
Yeah, the thing is the reason behind that video and the reason behind that thought is because the government indicates the narrative which is implemented into the whole into the people, into the country and stuff like that. So they are deciding which morals and which direction the whole country will go. And I also I want to research. I don't have the data at the moment, but I will research it for the video. Um, what kind of games launched in the period when Trump was president, and what kind of games launched in the period when Kamala was president? I want to analyze that and see
Or
if
Joe
there were.
Biden?
Yeah, they're both the same, right? They're
Yeah.
both the same. So if there are more badass games launched in the time when Trump was president, that's a very big indicator. If the percentage is way higher, so that's a way crazy indicator. And then we can also track the period when Trump is getting president in November. That would be interesting as well, because if he can make a change actually. But yeah,
Yeah,
as I
that
thought,
that will be interesting to see if there are more badass games when he was a president.
yeah,
That would be interesting, yeah.
yeah, I have to research it first. I cannot tell yet, but I have a good feeling. I think it will be the case because
Yeah.
it's about the narrative,
Yeah.
and the government also has the power to pressure, not pressure, but it's a passive pressure, right? It's a moral pressure to bring on the companies, also the
Yeah.
gaming companies. So that could do something with them, and yeah, I will research if that's the case.
Yeah, maybe a Legion.
Yeah, if you think back, Trump was 2014,
Could be possible.
2014, and then he was what was that? Yeah, it could actually be possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I have to
Let's
research
see.
it, but
Yeah,
very
research.
interesting.
Yeah, go for it. Nice.
So Yeah, what is your opinion about that? About do you think Trump will bring back badass games? Not he himself, but in general
Yeah,
the change.
not he himself, but I've like we can say it, we are pro Trump, so
No,
um
I'm not pro Trump.
no? Okay. Well then not. Um
Just kidding.
I think if he gets president, a lot of things will change. Hopefully, like he called, a lot of things will change. And I'm more trusting Elon Musk. So if Trump wins, I know Elon Musk will bring change. So that's why I say I think a lot of things will change. I hope this woke mind virus will go away because that's just a lot of bullshit there. Um, yeah, so I think yes, if he gets president, it will change.
What I think is if he is president, I think one of the biggest changes will be that we can speak a little bit more unfiltered in the world. And that does not only go for people, that does also go for articles, for games, for movies, and stuff like that. So that is the directive he wants to go, and I think that is good for the freedom of speech. That is definitely a pro because it's it does also something with humans that is off topic, but it does also something with humans when you suppress your speech all the time. You cannot you think twice or three times about can you say that actually what you think at the moment. So it is not a good thing, and yeah, we'll see. I think it will change the gaming industry definitely. Yeah. But we'll see how it impacts, and we will analyze it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a big problem too, which you called like is you're scared to say something because you can get backlash, you can get whatever, like
I
something.
mean, it also changes the productivity of yourself because, for example, for ourselves, we had a lot of topics in developing the application. We had a lot of topics in developing games talking about this shit.
Yeah,
A lot of times we were thinking, can we do that actually? Can we do that? Can we do that? Do we have to implement that for that and that? It's
yeah,
it's so much more thought work and so much more work in general, and it's unnecessary because you only do it because a lot of people are very sensible. That's the thing. That's the whole point of it.
yeah.
That is actually that is it's not worth it actually.
It's
You
stupid
should.
and
Yeah.
it's stupid. And in the end, it's our platform, so we can decide actually, or our playground, which
Yeah.
kind of user base we want on our application. And if you don't feel our application, well, delete the application and go away. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. But that's the thought process. I only wanted to say to tell the people as well, that they,
yeah,
because when you're not developing such things, you think it's not an issue at all, but you
yeah,
have to think about every step you're implementing, and it's so much more effort. It's so much more effort because yeah you question everything. It's
yes,
crazy.
you're right.
Yeah, and we'll see. Maybe it will change in the future again to a little bit more robust public. Yeah. Do you have any questions left?
One, I will go for one more.
Shoot.
Which is the game which you would like to have that it changed to more badass?
Mm. Mm. That's a good question.
And
I
then maybe
think.
also what should they change?
Mm, um. I think yeah. The obvious thing for me would be World of Warcraft for sure, but um, that's only because I played the most. But when I look in general on all the games and stuff like that, so I would change a franchise back. I would change the Star Wars franchise back to be badass because when you watch the Star Wars movies, the older Star Wars movies, and also the older newer one, before that whole change happened. It was really cool, a really cool universe, and it was fun. It was actually, you watched it and you felt, oh, that evil guy was so badass, or this was badass, this was so cool. It's a manly, cool franchise, you know, and it changed so much. It changed so much. All the people are so disappointed now in this kind of franchise. They destroyed it actually through 2 movies and through 1 or 2 woke video games. Woke video games, however you want to define it, or inclusive or whatever. So if I could turn time back, or if I would change it, I think the best for the world to change it, or the most impactful, would probably be change the Star Wars universe back to more badass again. What about you?
I would go for World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
I
because
want
it
to have
impacts you
this
the
kind of,
most.
yeah, it impacts me the most. I play it the most. And yeah, if they change some things, it would be nice. Like
Mm.
the weapon system in Legion, the story in Legion, everything was like really nice. Or like the Nzoft add-on. I don't know which was this Legion. I actually
No, it
don't
was
know.
Battle for Azeroth.
Battle for Azeroth. Even that was a kind of badass game. Sylvanas
Yeah,
was badass.
definitely.
The debuffs on your weapons was badass. You did a lot of
Mm.
damage. It's just happening. It was. I like these 2 add-ons the most. I had a great time playing these add-ons, and yeah, I would like to have this back again.
That reminds me actually a little bit about imagine if World of Warcraft would have been still badass when they brought out the Traktyr class, or the Traktyr
Mhm.
race, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Then we probably would have gotten really, really badass cool dragons instead of these soy dragons now. Um, that would be that would have been a very great opportunity to
yeah.
implement something very cool badass. Yeah.
Maybe they get the backup update.
No, I
Oh.
can't see that because they have the burden now, like we Germans.
All right. I think that's
Yeah,
a wrap.
I think that's a wrap. Yeah. Thank you for listening, guys, and as always, if you're still listening now, hit the like and the subscribe button. And we have also an application in the App Store and in the Google Play Store if you want to find new teammates to join you while you're playing the single player game or the multiplayer game. You can only swipe for new teammates with same interests, with same games they play, maybe the same playing time when they play the games. So look in the App Store and search for Gamers Playground, and there you can check out the application. It's completely free, nothing to lose, so check it out there. And as always, the last words are yours, there, Stefan.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. And if you have any thoughts on this topic, write it down in the comments. And we see us, as always, in the next podcast. Bye bye.
Bye bye.